Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Thanks for coming out. I had been working on this Boland's machine, and previous customer just showed up with this thing. I don't even know what brand it is, but she messaged me a couple days ago, said, "Hey, I bought a mower from you. I want to know what weight oil to put in it. It's not starting, and I think it's the oil." And I messaged her back. I said, "You probably have a fuel-related issue. I doubt it's an oil issue." I says, "Just bring it back to me, and I'll look at it for you." So here it is. She just dumped this thing off. She had the handle folded down and the bolts were out of it. I just put the bolts in the handle to mess with this thing. So, like I said, I don't know what this thing is. I kind of don't remember her or the machine, but it looks like my work. I recognize the price tag here. It says $100. So she said she had no issues with it. Was working great all through the summer. Went to try to start it here in the last week or so, and it would not cooperate. So let's see why. I grilled her when she unloaded. I said, "What fuel we use?" And she says, "The one you told me to get at Wawa, the non-ethanol." So I don't think it's a fuel-related issue, but we're going to have to figure it out. Maybe it's a dead plug. This is the 10 Tango 502-0457 Echo 1. The production year 06/12/11/51. So the 12th month, 11th day of 2006. Don't know if this is a Murray. Maybe it's a Murray, but the wheels show that it's a Poulan Pro. Not sure. Before she took it out of the SUV, or I did, I pressed the primer, and it is priming. Let's see if the air filter's clogged up. Let's see if there's water in here. I said, "Do you store it inside?" She says, "Yeah, in the garage." It looks pretty clean in there. There is some discoloration, but that's just the tank itself, maybe a little surface rust. I don't see anything dancing around in the fuel. I don't see any water down there. So why isn't this thing starting for her? This turd better start. Let's look at the air filter. We got fuel in it. Let's check the oil. She said she hadn't checked the oil at all. So if this thing was a smoker and a burner, it may be low on oil. So I give her points for using the right fuel, but I minus points because she hasn't checked the oil after each use. Okay, not a lot of buildup here on the air filter. Pretty dusty. So she was using this thing. Okay, let's try to check oil. Let me grab a rag. So it's used and it's right about there, a little less than half on the oil. So she had enough. So it burnt a little oil this summer. So I'll have to get on to her about making sure the oil levels up. Maybe I won't coach her every start, maybe every other start. She goes ahead and checks the oil. So glad to see it's not bone dry, and I can see it down here in the crankcase. So let's see why this $100 turd is not cooperating for her. Is it a weak safety brake cable, maybe? You know how that happens. These cables don't retract all the way, and it still grounds out the coil wire, even though your bail bar is pulled all the way back to the handle. Sometimes I come along and help out the linkage here and pull a little tighter, and the unit will start. I've had a few no starters do that before. Help that cable along and it'll end up starting for you. Okay, let's see, did she hit a rock? Looks like it's in one piece. Don't feel any big gouges. It's not terribly dull. It could use a touch up. So I don't see any catastrophic strikes with the blade. What is this thing, a 20-inch maybe? 20-inch cut. Absolutely no ID markings on it other than the engine number. Still looking at the fuel up here near the pickup, and I don't see any water or any debris. So she had clean fuel. Let's just prime it and see what the deal is and give it a pull. The only thing I'm seeing here that's kind of wonky is the plug wire. Could be a little tighter, and there's no cap on it. For the fun of it, let's just pull the plug and see if it's goobered up. So let's do that. Grab the appropriate plug socket. I think I was using it on this Boland's. Yes, I was using it on the Boland's, as a matter of fact. So let's use it on the no name. Okay, we got a NGK in here. Doesn't look terribly bad. I don't see anything that would jump out at me as a concern. Looks like it was firing as it should. There's no gooberization here in the gap. I'm making up shit as I go along. Gooberization is not a word. Unless you were watching the Andy Griffith show. Goober might have goobered something, and that would be called gooberization. Okay, let's prime it and go on this $100 turd. I hope I didn't schnooker her, but she got one season out of it. Okay, it's pushing fuel. Let's go. Have you ever seen a dancing turd? Well, this qualifies. So I don't know what the deal is. The thing started with one pull. I did move the throttle down to idle and it idled down, but when I got it here, I didn't mess with anything on the linkage and it was at full speed. So maybe I don't know what the deal is. I could see if it was on the off position, might not start, but linkage was at full throttle. I don't know. I'm going to have to message her and said I can't find an issue with this turd. I mean, mower. What I'll do is tell her I'll give it a yearly service, change the oil, sharpen the blade, filter doesn't look like it needs to be messed with, and tell her to come get it free of charge. I won't charge her. A little bit of oil and a little bit of touch up on the blade isn't going to kill me. Good customer relations are a key to a successful business. So I just made that up, but it sounds legitimate. What do you think? Maybe she'll tell a neighbor or two, and then I'll have a couple of sales out of this turd. Well, I wish I could show you something. There's nothing to show. The stupid thing started. This 2006 turd. I don't see any issue with it. I'll service it like I just said, and if she's got another issue, I'll just tell her to bring it back. Maybe she forgot to prime it here in the off season. I'm not sure why she couldn't get this thing to fire off. Kind of a mystery, but we're gonna do a free service for her. Anyway, sorry I couldn't show you anything on this turd. It's an easy service for me. There's nothing hardly to do. I'll have this done in 10 minutes and then I'll go back to the Boland's turd. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate you checking out Tommy Time, subscribing to my channel. If you haven't already, please do that. That'd be awesome. Come back and see me. Have a nice day. Tip your waitress and wait staff. They're doing an awesome job. Adios.